It is finally upon us. The remake. The replication. The second coming. We are near. We are near the moment. The very moment has arrived for us to become near it. Oh yeah, it's gray instead of red. I always like when they, Toy Logic, so that's a weird logo to see. It reminds me of, like, Toys for Bob making, like, the Spyro games. NieR Replicant. 2010 to 2021. I wonder if anyone is gonna use their fucking brain and look at that copyright 2010 number there and realize, oh, that means this game was originally made back in 2010. This is a remake of a game made back in 2010. I should thus appraise it by those standards. Although at the same time, they basically remade this entire fucking game from the ground up. Oh, shit. It's not the, spoiler as fuck, fucking trailer that they would have for the attract mode in the original game. In the original game, the fucking, attract mode that would play if you lingered on the title screen was a huge fucking spoiler moment. Where Blaze the Cat just, like, started swearing like a sailor, and it was fucking hilarious. Although this still could be... Yep, that's a spoiler. That's a clip from the very end of the game. That's a spoiler, although it's out of context. All of this is, like, right from the end of the game. Those are all fucking massive spoilers. Yoko Taro ain't give no fucks. Yoko Taro ain't give a single fuck about no one and nothing. Peep that music. Gotta get that, $15 soundtrack on the PlayStation Network. That's it's just constant spoilers. Yoko Taro is such an asshole. Shit like this is why I don't really mind, like, saying certain pieces of information sort of out of context when it comes to talking about how fucking stupid and insane Yoko Taro games are. Because it means nothing. Like, how are you even supposed to, like, get any any understanding out of it? Like, I could tell you that NieR... I could tell you that NieR is a sequel to Yoko Taro and Cavia Games' original game Drakengard, which follows off of the 5th secret joke ending of Drakengard, which ended with the main character and his dragon going through, like, a portal of reality from a cliche traditional, like, medieval fantasy setting and ending up in the middle of Tokyo, and then they get killed by the planes from Ace Combat. But, like, that really doesn't... Like, you just hear that and you go, what?
We're the same. Tools.
Like, I even, like, gave a little bit more context than the game gives. Like, the game gives you less context than I gave you when that happens. It's supposed to be a, like, what? It's supposed to be a joke ending, and they decided, fuck it, let's make a sequel to the joke ending. Basically. It's literally a follow-up from, okay, a fucking giant dragon and also Evangelion, like, god deity from a fantasy world showed up in, like, real-life world Tokyo. What happens? So, NieR Replicant. Obviously, Replicant is a word that exists, but NieR Replicant is... in its use in this game, it's an obvious and overt reference to Blade Runner, and how replicants artificial humans, robots, androids, whatever you want to call them. Like, you know, your typical, oh, is this robot a person kind of thing. And that...
You dumbass! Start making sense, you rotten book, or you're gonna be sorry. Maybe I'll rip your pages out one by one, or maybe I'll put you in the goddamn furnace. How can someone with such a big smart brain get hypnotized like a little bitch, huh? Oh, Shadow Lord, I love you, Shadow Lord. Come over here and give Vice a big sloppy kiss, Shadow Lord. Now pull your head out of your goddamn ass and start fucking helping us!
Yay! The biggest smile. Yeah, that's Blaze the cat, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. That is Blaze the fucking cat. Oh, it's so funny. That's such a great... like, imagine just putting this game in, lingering on the title screen for a little bit too long, and that is what happens. Ah, memories back in 2010. So obviously, the fact that it's called Replicant is story relevant, and it might make you realize, oh, NieR Automata. Automata is based on automaton. Automaton means robot. It's a thing. It's like a thing. Do you get it? But NieR Replicant is just the Japanese version that was released on the PS3 back in 2010. And that was a Japanese exclusive version. When they localized the game for the West, they brought it over as NieR Gestalt. Although, on American box art covers, it doesn't say NieR Gestalt, it just says NieR. But in Japan, the 360 version was called NieR Gestalt. And Gestalt is the German word that means, like, your soul, basically. The part of you that makes you who you are, that is not your physical body. Gestalt. Like, I'm gonna look up the actual fucking term. An organized whole that is perceived as more than the sum of its parts. Gestalt is the ability of the brain to generate whole forms from groupings of lines, shapes, curves, and points. Blah, blah, blah. It just means, like, you know, the part of you that makes you human that is not your physical body, right? Your experiences, your memories, the ephemeral, intangible things that you could reasonably simplify as saying your soul, right? So we had NieR Replicant and NieR Gestalt. I wonder what that could mean about the implications of the story of this game. Or, as I like to call it, NieR Heartless and NieR Nobody. No, the other way around. NieR Nobody and NieR Heartless, because I have a theory about this game. My theory is that NieR is a satire of Kingdom Hearts. And you're gonna see, and I'm gonna explain a little bit of what I mean by that as we start up here, because I'm not just making shit up. I think it actually is seriously intentional. Because this game came out back on the PS3 and the Xbox 360, so Kingdom Hearts was a thing for a while. Oh, hey. Game journalist mode, normal mode, and, I can't think of a funny way to say hard mode, so I'm stupid. Boy. Adult. No, what about dad, though? We gotta have dad mode. Magic orbs. That's interesting. There's definitely going to be DLC for that then. So, that's just a NieR Automata, like, reverse, like, retroactive, retroactive references to a sequel that was made and was more popular than the original game. Ooh, language. Oh, yeah, it was under language, everybody. Our game of where are subtitles, it was under language the whole time. Okay, so we're gonna get started. I think Yoko Taro, like, not entirely, because there's a lot of things that went into creating this game and a lot of inspirations, but I think at least partially, Yoko Taro, with his boys at Cavia, published by Square Enix, I think a little bit, this is the parts of this game are, like, satirical towards Square Enix conventions and Square Enix things and Kingdom Hearts in particular. Okay, so this is important. This is one of the most important things in the game. What is our name? So, like Undertale, you're kind of just supposed to put your name. I mean, it's very clearly and explicitly saying, enter your name. It's not saying, name your character. It's saying, please enter your name, as in you, the person sitting there playing this game. Enter your name. So, again, this being this being very Undertalean, we're gonna go ahead with Kara here. Yes. December 22nd. Year unspecified. Oh, look at all that snow. That's the kind of snow you're gonna want to put on your chicken or french fries. Actually, maybe you shouldn't, unless you want to become a cannibal. Yeah, Seki Ito! So this game is not, you know, Yoko Taro is on the credits here as like a creative director, I think. But, yeah, there he is. Of course, Yoko Taro was the director of the original game, but this is the remake, so they switched things up. Yoko Taro doesn't want to make the same game twice, I'm betting. He's like, I did that shit already. I'm just gonna stick around as a creative, like, overseer to make sure you don't fuck up my game. But what I learned that was actually very interesting is Toy Box or Toy Engine or whatever the fuck, 2053. Summer 2053. It's summer. That ain't snow, fuckers. Ooh. What I learned is the devs at Toy Engine, or whatever the fuck it's called, are ex-Cavia employees. So, Drakengard and NieR and all of his old games were made by, under his old studio of Cavia. And after NieR released, it underperformed because it's a weird fucking game. and Cavia fucking folded. Cavia went belly up, and they ain't do nothing no more. But apparently, a lot of ex-developers of Cavia went over to Toy Engine or Toy Box or whatever the fuck, the guys who made this game. So this game is actually being made. Goddamn book. Who the fuck makes a book with black pages and white ink? That's so weird and dumb. Get that shit out of my face. So this game, in very many ways, is being made by the same people who made the original NieR on the PS3 and 360. And that's so fucking cool. I didn't know that shit. I thought that they just got some other developer like Platinum to come in and just insert brand new gameplay into the it's the same game, but they shoved some new gameplay in there. No, this is very much being remade. This is NieR being remade by the same people who made it the first time, with the new creative director at the helm.
Get away, you freaks! I'll kill you all!
Right away, this is already this is better than the fucking than the combat was in the original game. You have no idea how generic the fucking combat in the original game was. I mean, that's part of the reason NieR, like, really did underperform, and it was such a cult classic for a long time, is it was a game you kind of had to struggle through in terms of its gameplay, at least until the later parts of the game where you unlock, like, abilities that just break the game and let you just fucking do crazy screen-clearing shit.
It'll stop in a second. I promise. But what about those monsters? Are Are they gonna come back for me?
Oni-chan.
Don't worry, Yona.
Oto-san.
I won't let those things anywhere near you.
I kind of expected that they would get Johnny Young Bosch to do Brother NieR for this game.
Sit tight. I'm gonna go see if I can find something to eat.
So imagine this cutscene right now, but instead of it being a big brother, being a big brother Oni-san, imagine it's...
And Yona.
This is great.
Yeah?
Don't touch that book. Not ever. Got it?
I'm not gonna take it away from you. Just don't touch it. I'm not gonna pick it up or like kick it to be away from you so that you're not tempted. I'm just gonna leave it there. Even though it was over here originally and I don't know how it got moved. Just don't touch it, okay? So
Damn! How many of these things are there?
So imagine that cutscene and this gameplay with, instead of Oni-chan Big Brother, imagine it's with a gruff and grizzled Joel-ass old man. And she's saying, "Oh, daddy." Because that's the game we originally got. The game we originally got back in 2010 on the Xbox 360, NieR Gestalt, was Daddy NieR instead of Big Brother NieR. In Japan on the PS3, they had NieR Replicant, which was the brother version that we're seeing now. Oh my god, he's Virgil.
Protect Yona.
And on the 360 in Japan, and the only version we got in America, was a NieR Gestalt, where you're playing as a grizzled, gruff, old man, Daddy NieR. And they said, like, you gotta make that change, because those fuckers in the West, they don't want to play as no twink-ass little boy. Even though, again, Kingdom Hearts was a thing by this point. So you gotta change your twink-ass little kid protagonist to a Big Papa Daddy NieR. The dadification of video games, am I right?
Stay away from my sister.
And, like, you know, you could argue, oh, stay away from my daughter plays a lot better than stay away from my sis. Mamoru. I gotta Mamoru my Nii-chan. My Nii-chan little sister. I gotta Mamoru my daughter.
Don't let anyone hurt Yona! So this is the power of the Black Book.
Getting level ups for this fucking salt-ass intro sequence.
Let's go.
Now we're level 3. That matters a lot. Shmup. It's a shmup, fucker. Let's kill these babies. Yeah. This doesn't really work as a tutorial sequence. Even now that it's less jank as hell. Although it works a lot better now that the gameplay isn't fucking dog shit. Oop. I was trying to be cool. Fuck y'all. Yeah, killing these heartless, killing these, heartless adjacent. Feel like these enemies might even be reminiscent of, certain other generic enemy types that you might see in another Square Enix style game. Don't you think? Oh, you unlocked the tutorial now that you've, leveled up to level 7. Yeah. And, like, I guess either way you could say, like, oh, it's the same, they're both, like, annoying trends, but, like, back in 2010, the dadification of games wasn't as extreme as it is now, right? Like, nowadays, oh, daddy, main character, gotta save my daughter, gotta save Ellie, says the Joels of the industry. Or my boy of... My boy Kratos has gotta protect his son in the God of Wars, right? Like, that's really prevalent now. But back in 2010, it wasn't so much. And a lot of dialogue that was written with a young, you know, Shota boy protagonist in mind plays very differently when coming out of the mouth of a character who is being conveyed and portrayed by an adult, gruff, like, older male character, right? So there were some sequences where it's like, oh yeah, you and me are friends now. That, like, was, you know, what it was when it was the little boy main character, but came across very differently and a little bit more interestingly. Wow, they added a lock-on even. Actually, I don't remember. I don't remember if there was a lock-on in the original game, so never mind. So, you know, you could argue that having the little boy, like, older brother protagonist NieR is less interesting compared to Daddy NieR. But, I mean, again, that's also partially kind of the point. Because, like I said, part of me feels like this game was being a little bit of a satire when it came to certain gaming conventions, particularly what you'd see in Square Enix games. Because that's Yoko Taro's whole shtick. Ah, fucker. Finishing moves. Because that's Yoko Taro's whole shtick, is like taking... He's that, like, meta style, like meta commentary style developer that you see, where he's like, hey, isn't this weird, like, trend or convention that you see in video games? Isn't it kind of weird that that's, like, so prevalent and normalized? Like, don't you think we should maybe think about why that's so conventional, and isn't it kind of fucked up when you think about it? That's what Drakengard was all about. Is he thought, isn't it kind of weird how the primary, like, interaction that you have in most games is just killing millions of dudes? Don't you think the kind of person who would just kill hundreds of millions of enemies would be kind of fucked up in the head? I mean, like, you hear that now and you're like, fuck off. But Drakengard came out back on the PS2. Like, back in the 2005.
What about you?
And, like,
those guys were nothing.
Metal Gear Solid and shit was doing somewhat
Look at this. I found it
that kind of thing. But not in a grimdark, edgy kind of way. Not in a grimdark, edgy kind of way. And nah, you needed some grimdark edginess.
No, you need to eat too.
Fine, I'll take the small half.
No, come on. You need to keep up your straight.
Bitch, you dropped the cookie. Now no one can eat it. It's got salt all over it.
Yona! Yona!
Oh no.
See, she's got her priorities figured out.
I didn't mean to.
Yona? Why did you...
You've always been the one helping me. So I just wanted to...
No. Yona! Yona! need help. Please, somebody, we need help. Help us!
Again, imagine that scene with gruff, grizzled Daddy NieR and tell me how that changes your emotions as you see the salt drifting from the skies. So a big part of Yoko Taro's shtick is being like, fuck video game conventions and, like, expectations. And you know what? In particular, you know what Yoko Taro said? Yoko Taro said, fuck video game completionists. You like 100%ing your games? Fuck you. That is what Yoko Taro says to you. He personally fucking hates you. That's what you get for 100%ing your video games, you goddamn autist. And there is one particularly evident example of that. That is such a massive fucking time skip, is it not? Like, Jesus Christ. That is ridiculous. Not only 1,000 years later, but 1,412 years later. Like, fuck off. That is extreme.
Right, I'm heading out.
And now you're like, wait, what? So before we continue...
Can I come with you today?
No, bitch, you sick.
Better not. I'm probably going hunting.
Okay.
But I'll bring you back a book from the library, okay?
Yay! Thanks!
I'll see you later. Try and get some rest.
This was not voice acted back in the day. Oh. Oh, circle.
Love you.
Oh, like a stone cold motherfucker. Those RPG ass shit, yeah.
I should go to the library and see what Popola's up to.
So, two things. Yeah! See this? Ooh, you might not have PTSD looking at this shit, but I fucking do. So let me explain exactly why. Here we go. Okay, I can finally look at the fucking trophies. Okay, here's the moment. Here's the moment. I'm gonna scroll all the way to the bottom because I'm sure it's like one of the secret ones. Nope. Not this one. Some of these are spoilers. Nope. I don't know if it's even in the game. I gotta check them. I gotta make sure. I'm sure it's here though, because even with these, you can see, but you will find out. Caught one of every fish. Yoko Taro hates Here it is! Look at that! This game just came out, but 0.1% rarity. You successfully cultivated the legendary flower, the legendary gardener. This trophy, this achievement, this Chivo, is the #1 evidence that Yoko Taro fucking hates video game completionists. If you are someone who likes 100%ing games and getting the platinum trophy, Yoko Taro fucking hates you, and this trophy is the reason why. Because this trophy is gotten by using a farming mechanic in the game that lets you grow crops and flowers in the patches of dirt outside of your house that grow in real time. So if you plant flowers that will grow in 12 hours, you save the game and turn off the game, and the system clock will know how, well, I think it's like 24 hours actually. The game will check the system clock to see how much time passed, and then when you turn the game on, then the crop will have grown. And to get the legendary flower, you have to successfully grow a lunar tier using this gardening minigame in this game, where the flowers grow in real time. The thing is, the lunar tier is not a fucking flower that you can just get by, oh, I found the seeds of the lunar tier, time to grow them in my garden. No. The lunar tier is a flower that you have to use in-game cross-germination mechanics in order to unlock. You have to get flowers that are like, let's say there's red flowers and blue flowers. If you grow those flowers next to each other, they will germinate and give you seeds for, they might germinate and cross-pollinate and make a flower that's purple, right? And in order to get the lunar tier, you have to do that. You have to have two flowers cross-germinate with each other. Here it is. Okay, it's here somewhere. It's possible to cultivate hybrid flowers via meticulous swapping and rotating of crops for days on end in real time. Oh my god, here's the full breakdown. So one of the quests... This quest is actually not even as bad. In order to get the lunar flower, it's even worse than what's described here. So one of the quests in the game is you have to get pink flowers. You have to get pink moon flowers, but there's no pink seeds. So the side quest is teaching you, you have to... Oh my god, it's so crazy. Did you know it's possible to cultivate flowers in NieR's garden via meticulous swapping and rotating of crops for days on end? No, you didn't. Nor would you ever think possible. But you've obviously underestimated Kavia's hatred for completionists. Welcome to the biggest goddamn roadblock and 100% side quest completion of the game. For this quest, NieR is gonna need 15 of each type of moonflower seed, a ton of time, and a saint-like amount of patience. So here's the goddamn tedium of this quest. First up, NieR must plant all 15 plots in his garden with the blue moonflower seeds. And every time you plant a seed, it's like a 10-second unskippable animation. Now, 10 seconds doesn't sound too long, but when you end up doing this, oh, I don't know, 5 or 6 dozen times, it starts to add up. Once all 15 seeds are planted, it's time to save. You must now either opt to wait 18 hours of real time, or manipulate the console internal clock, but you are expected by the game design to wait 18 hours of real time. Loading the game back up after the time jump will cause NieR's garden to have flourished with a full set of lovely blue moonflowers. Blue moonflowers are a healing item equal to a medicinal herb, but as he harvests one flower, he needs to plant a gold moonflower seed in the newly opened plot. The whole field must be rotated in this fashion. Once this is done, it's time to go fiddle with the system again. This time we need to jump 36 hours in the future. This time, about half of our flowers should be dead, while the other half ought to be flowering. These new flowering flowers are all indigo moonflower hybrids. You cannot save scum hybrids. The random percentage kicks in as soon as they're planted, and there is no way to know the results until they bloom. These hybrid flowers have a 20% chance of spawning during the previous planting cycle. Reloading before the bloom always yields the same results. You need to reload prior to the initial planting in order to re-roll the dice. Now you skip forward 18 hours again in order to harvest these plants. In order to harvest Takazo's hybrid plants to wilt for seed harvesting. They've all given up plentiful amount of indigo seeds. So you had to plant blue seeds and then plant golden seeds on top of those former blue seed plots in order to get indigo flowers, and then let those indigo flowers die in order to get indigo flower seeds. Now it's time to make pink moonflowers. Pink moonflowers are hybrids of the newly obtained indigo hybrid and red moonflowers. So we need to plant them a bit differently. Instead of planting the whole field in one type, then swapping them out, we need to plant 2 flower seed types in an alternating pattern. For each track, the plants must be alternating between indigo and red seeds. So red, indigo, or indigo, red. I've heard the former works better, but I've done it either way and gotten it to work. The trouble is there's only a fucking 5% chance of a pink moonflower spawning. Skipping ahead 36 hours in harvesting the fairy for plants. At this point, you can see you've gotten. You can see if you've gotten any pink moonflowers. If you get more than 1 in a batch, you're a lucky bastard. Expect to be mired in this step of the quest for a while. It's quite possible, and indeed quite likely, to get fuck all and have nothing come up but more indigo moonflowers too. The most I've ever gotten in one harvest was 2 pink moonflower plants. But you know the real big dick move on top of this already long and annoying quest? Pink moonflowers only produce 3 seeds. You need 10 for the quest. So when you finally do get a pink moonflower seed to spawn, you're still gonna have to do 2 more cycles of harvesting by planting pink moonflower seeds, harvesting those to get 9 seeds, and then 1 more time to finish the quest. You didn't need that extra 15 minutes anyway. And again, the intention of the game is that you're waiting in real time for this cultivation to take place. And so all of that is just for a quest to get pink moonflowers for a side quest in-game. In order to get a legendary flower, the lunar tier, you have to do all of that over and over and over again with various different fucking permutations of hybrid flowers and cross-cultivation in order to eventually, and again, it is randomized, eventually have a lunar tier grow in your garden. That is what you gotta do in order to get this trophy. Kaguya, aka Yoko Taro, fucking hates video game completionists. And this is the proof. And I'm so glad it's in this fucking game. Because holy shit, get ready for that 1%. Get ready for that to never get higher than like 1%. Because holy shit, no one is ever going to fucking get that. Like, I mean, like, people will get it, obviously, but, like, that is just the most bullshit fucking...
Once I destroy these shades, the
tutorial. That is the single most ridiculous bullshit ass fuck off trophy that you will ever see in any video game. It is so ridiculous. Okay, it's not working for me. I'll try and pull up footage of it later, but this fucking field right here, man. This field is proof that Yoko Taro and Kaguya Games fucking hates you. Oh no, these chicky chicks. Oh no, hello, chicky chicks. Why are you so stupid and gay? Anyway. And they're, like, the final, like, primary ending of this game is the biggest eat shit completionists ever. Like, at the time, there was nothing like it. Now there's a couple things.
It's a dangerous place.
Nowadays, there's a couple things I can think of that do it, such as Undertale. And in many ways, Yoko Taro is like Toby Fox if he was slightly crazier and also a Japanese man. If Toby Fox was a slightly crazier Japanese man, he would be Yoko Taro. Rest assured on that fact. So if you want to get an idea for the kind of psychotic fucker that we're dealing with when it comes to Yoko Taro, think of fucking Toby Fox if you're familiar. So these are DLC. I don't want to use them because they seem unbalanced at this point in the game to have. So here's a cool effect you'll see.
Morning.
So the vocals stopped because Devila's the one singing.
You keep running around like that, you're gonna trip and fall on your face.
I think I'll be okay, but thanks for the warning.
So now the vocals return because she's not talking anymore. She's the one. It's diegetic. The music we're hearing right now is being sung by Devila.
Hey,
And it's not.
let's play.
And it's not just dialogue in general, because it's still playing when we're talking to the child
I've
here.
got work to do.
Oh, the dog's freaking out. You cannot pet the dog in NieR
Stop
Replicant.
working and play with me for once.
So these kids are actively being like, hey, brother NieR, or whatever this kid's, Chara. Hey, Chara, play with us. So he is, like, at age appropriate to be playing with other children. Keep that in mind. Also, of note, you know, we got guards here. We got chickens. We got a nameless sword on our back. We have all the trappings. Well, there's better examples that we'll see, I suppose, but we have all the trappings of a standard medieval fantasy style setting, like your Drakengard, right? We'll see that better when we actually go into the town, but...
Good morning. How's Yona doing today?
Still dying.
Her cough's still pretty bad.
Yesterday, her pinky toe turned to salt, and we used it to make some chicken.
That's worrisome.
It's actually, don't use your, don't.
I know. I keep hoping she'll at least get a little better, but I don't know. I feel like I'm failing her.
Oh, stop that. You're the finest brother
Father.
I could hope to have. Anyway, I was hoping
Oh, I really
you'd
hope
take
I
care of
sync
this
this
for me.
commentary.
I got a request from someone in the shopping district. They need you to get some mutton from the northern plains.
Got it. I'm on my way.
Since you're going to the plains, let me give you a map. Trust me, it'll come in handy. Oh, and one more thing. Would you mind purchasing 3 medicinal herbs from the client while you're at it? I used my last one earlier. Here's some money.
What do you need medicinal herbs
Popola,
for?
this is way too much.
Well then, buy some for Yona while you're at it.
You don't have to...
It's okay. Really. That's 3 pieces of mutton and 3 medicinal herbs, alright?
So the implication is less
Thanks,
that...
Popola. For everything.
What's this all about?
Just the way you and the other villagers always take care of us. We really appreciate it is all.
Think nothing of it. People need to look out for each other, right? Besides, Everyone here wants to see Yona healthy and happy. So hang in there, okay?
I will.
So the implication is less that these are, like, actual tasks that they need getting done. These aren't like, oh man, this side quest is of vital importance, you gotta go do this for me, protagonist. These are like, yeah, the kid wants to be able to, like, earn and provide for his little sister. Fuck it, I'll give him some chores to do and you know, give him some compensation for it so that he doesn't feel like he's just being given charity.
Yona?
Oh, hey.
Yona, you're supposed to be in bed. See, now your ribbon's all undone.
I'm sorry. I just thought I'd see if the library had any books about how to cure my sickness.
Yona.
Get down with the sickness and go to bed.
Look, don't worry. You're gonna be fine.
Brother, you might be able to lie to yourself in order to fall asleep believing that, but I wanted to get some reading done, so piss off and get the mutton.
You just need to eat and rest. If you take good care of yourself, you'll get better.
That's not... Come on, dude.
You really think so?
I know so. Anyway, I've got work to do, so
I feel like you could have read that dialogue with a different intonation if you wanted to be more cynical about it. Like, you really think so?
Deal.
I'm gonna turn to salt, bro. Shit's bad. Oh no, she's waving at us while we're loading. Oh, I miss loading screen mini games. That'll like mash the button to make the icon spin kind of shit. Okami would give you items if you played their loading mini games.
People say the world is dying. Populations continue to fall, while plague and disease run rampant. If that wasn't enough, monsters called Shades now roam the land as well, threatening our very lives. But I can't let any of that distract me. My sister is sick, and my only goal is to ensure that the two of us survive. It's not easy for a pair of kids to live on their own. But the villagers have been kind to us, and despite everything, somehow I feel like we're gonna be okay.
Oh, that's gonna change real fast.
There's no other choice.
So yeah, you can see like kind of the trappings is of a traditional medieval fantasy style setting. But you can even already tell based on the like the ruinic look of the surroundings, like this is just the world post what we saw at the beginning of the game. Post 2053, 1,500 years later. So NieR is doing one of my favorite things, which is like the post-apocalypse. Like the apocalypse happened, and then the post-apocalypse happened. And now people are just living normal lives in, like, having rebuilt, like, a functioning society on top of the ruins of the world that ended. So if you look at the game and you're kind of not paying that much attention, it seems like just your traditional, kind of lame medieval fantasy style setting, but it's a medieval fantasy style setting on top of an apocalypse. And that shit's just awesome. In ways that become more and more clear further on into the game. Not quite so much at the beginning of the game here.
As soon as you can, all right?
Yeah, so the implication is less that you're being given vital quests to run off and do.
Why not fill your garden with flowers?
Oh, fuck you, lady. Don't even talk to me. Oh, I'm gonna flip out. Oh, no. It's so bad. No, I don't want to. Get it away from me.
Some real buttes.
Get it away from me. I don't want it.
We've got some nice materials in stock if you want to take a look.
I don't even want to look at it.
Thanks.
And more along the lines of, yeah, okay, kid, here's, take out my laundry for me, right? You're not some great, like, hero of the JRPG who's gonna go out and save the village.
I guess the tavern's not open yet.
And in the backstory, I'm wondering if they'll actually include it in this game now, because it obviously was not in the original Western release. There's a backstory somewhere that said, like, at one point in the past...
Welcome!
Look at that clouds, look at that guts from Berserk sword back there. Look at that giant hunk of metal that could not be called a sword.
Thanks for your
Look at that shit. One of the things that it said that Brother NieR had to do here in order to earn some money was he had to resort to prostituting himself out to at least one dude. Which is actually, I don't know if you want to call it a reference, but it is something that happens in Berserk. And Drakengard already was very heavily inspired by Berserk. And there's a little bit of that in this game also. You're gonna see a lot of Berserk-isms. And since they had it be actual, like, Replicant, it's Brother NieR we're seeing here. I wonder if they're gonna include... Because they said they were gonna include new content into this fucking remake.
When you're knocked away, you can
Oh, thanks, Tutorialman.
Be careful if you head north.
Because they said, as part of this remake, that they were gonna add new content to it. And that is, I mean, to me, it's like, it's Yoko Taro. You gotta expect that. I mean, this game isn't called NieR Remake. This game is called NieR Replicant 1.22, right? So to me, it's like, I go into it expecting there to be some bullshit, right? It's like, you go into Final Fantasy VII Remake, and you expect it to be a remake and not what it was, which was like Final Fantasy 7.77. You can make. You cannot go leave Midgard, right? I give it like a jokey Neon Genesis Evangelion title. Fuck you, sheep. Eat shit, sheep boy. Give me that. Yeah. Button. Are the boars out here? Can I ride a boar? Not yet, right? I'm betting. Not yet with the boars, I'm betting. Damn! In a way, I feel like the better combat almost works against the game. Because NieR's supposed to be... I'm just gonna call him NieR for the sake of simplicity, but NieR is almost supposed to be, like, kind of a shit. He's kind of supposed to be bad at combat, because he's just some kid living in a village with his sister. He's not, like, a trained fucking android.
To the village.
So the fact that they made this combat, like, crazy awesome with, like, flips and moves and shit, almost works against the intention of the game. A little bit, but maybe that's just me. I mean, I'll take that. I'll take that over the combat being really bad. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and claim, like, the combat was bad on purpose back in the old game. I'll take improved combat, but I do feel like maybe you don't get the proper sense from your main character when he's being able to do shit like this. Like, what the fuck? He's, like, supposed to be 13 or something like that. Or, like, 12? I think he's 17 after the time skip, so... 16, 14. Yeah, I guess 12-ish? And you might say, oh, there's a time skip. Like, look, being told things out of context that are technically spoilers doesn't ruin the experience for you. Like, I could tell you that that end of Evangelion, the movie for Neon Genesis Evangelion, ends with everyone turning into orange juice. that's a spoiler. That's something that happens in the movie, but, like, you don't have the context necessary to understand what the fuck that means. It's not like you're gonna watch the movie and be like, oh, orange juice. I get it. No, like, you need to, like, the experience of watching the movie is not ruined by being given that information. It's the same way. I could tell you things out of context about NieR, but it's not going to ruin the experience because there's no context that would make the relevance of that spoiler even matter to you. Yeah. I lost track of my train of thought. Combat being good. Yoko Taro. Something about Yoko Taro. Oh yeah, damn. Kingdom Hearts.
What are shades doing so close to town?
Look at these Heartless. So pay attention to the way they behave. They are not attacking me right now. Note that these shades are not attacking me. And take a note of their size. They're small. They're even their position that they're in makes it clear that do these not look like Heartless? Do these not look like the Heartless from Kingdom Hearts? To me, they look such like the Heartless from Kingdom Hearts, right? So you're supposed to see these and just think like, oh, they're Heartless. They're generic, like, flash in the pan, generic darkness, evil enemies that I gotta kill. But look at how they're behaving even at this early point in the game. This is their first real encounter with the shades as of the game's beginning. They are not attacking me at all. They're completely non-hostile. They're completely non-hostile to me and are not attacking in any way.
I can't just let him go.
But Chara will not let you continue until you slaughter them. You have to kill these completely non-hostile entities before you can continue with the game. And you have to kill them so that the game can tutorialize leveling up to you. The game tutorializes the concept of leveling up. I mean, like, they crafted it that way so intentionally. That you get just enough EXP from those first 3 initial shades to level up. And despite the fact that they're, like, dumb, heartless, generic, like, darkness enemies, they still bleed. There's blood all over the place. Especially in these new graphics, but even in the original game, it was still very overt that they were bleeding blood. Right from the beginning of the game, you're meant to question, isn't that a little fucked up? But you might also not question it. It's doing that Undertale thing of you're going in expecting it to just be any other JRPG, you kill the enemies to grind and level up, but so if you do that, you're falling into that trap of, oh, I didn't question it, I was expecting it to be like any other video game.
I can't even go hunting in peace anymore. Time to get this meat to the shopkeeper.
You're falling into that trap of, oh, this is any other generic fantasy RPG, action RPG style game. Oh, it's just like Kingdom Hearts, I gotta kill the Heartless, what have you. But right from the beginning, the shades were completely non-hostile. Just chilling out, not doing a thing, would not attack you whatsoever. Right from the beginning, you're meant to question, like, that's a little weird. It's a little fucked up. And let me tell you something. This game was inspired by...
Here's that mutton you wanted.
Oh, thank you. You wouldn't believe how popular this stuff has been lately. Oh, and this isn't much, but I'd like you to have it. And tell Popola I said thanks, okay?
You got it.
Well, this game was inspired by a lot of things.
You aren't out hunting today?
But one of the things that Yoko Taro
Make sure you
talked
stock
about
up on
in an
the set.
interview. Oh, I bought them automatically? I guess. I'll buy these maps then.
Come back anytime.
One of the things that Yoko Taro talked about being inspired by when he decided to start making this game was the 9/11 terrorist attacks. And he talked about, like, I thought it was weird, like, it was really, like, jarring, because he's one of them Japanese. So, you know, he would have just as much opportunity to be exposed to the media from, you know, the other side as he would be media from the United States. So he talked about how it was kind of weird and fucked up, how he would watch media from both sources and see, like, oh, they both think they're the good guys. They both think that they didn't do nothing wrong. That's kind of weird. Like, they committed this atrocity, they killed all these people, but they think that they were cool. They thought they were cool bros for doing that. I want to find the exact quote. 9/11 was an unfortunate event that triggered out of a situation where both sides believed they were doing the right thing. The question is, what did they see from their point of view? What does it look like from each other's perspective? These were the thoughts that went through my head when I was making NieR. So, the primary idea going into this game that you should consider is, what would inspire someone to commit the terrorist attack on the World Trade Center? I want you to think that's the perspective that you have to kind of feed through, is like, the end of this game is you committing 9/11. But, like, on an even more extreme scale. And at no point is that made evident. At no point do you feel like, oh, I'm doing a bad thing. I mean, like, you can infer that. Like I just said, we had that encounter with the Shades, where you can infer, oh, they're the heartless enemies, I gotta kill them.
Great.
You can infer
That
that.
should help with the food shortage.
But you can also just go into it expecting it to be any other, like, JRPG, where you kill the heartless enemies, and you gotta save your sister, right?
That's all for today.
You could
You
just
should hurry
approach
back to
it
your
on that level and not think about
Thanks.
it more deeply. And you won't think that anything bad was done. You think, like, I beat the big bad guy at the end and did the thing. I did the good thing at the end. But no. It ends with fucking 9/11 happening. And you didn't even know it. Again, it's not spoilers, because you have no context for what I'm even saying happened. It is really fucked up, though. Although, and again, oh, that's what I was thinking of. So, you play fucking Final Fantasy VII Remake, and you expect it to be a fucking remake, not Final Fantasy 7.77 make you cannot leave Midgar. But you play this, you play NieR Replicant 1.22 fucking 1.224744. Like, that's a fucking stupid title. And it's being made by Yoko Taro. And all that jazz. You expect there to be some bullshit. You expect there to be some bullshit. Right? So I'm going into this fully expecting it to not be a faithful one-to-one remake of the original game. Right? I'm expecting them to add new shit. I'm expecting them to change old shit. I'm expecting an entirely different ending for all I fucking know. I could be anti-spoiling you. Like the end. How the fuck do these stairs work? I could be anti-spoiling you. The ending of NieR Replicant 1.22 could be a completely different ending for all we know. They could have completely altered the entire content of the game because fuck you, this is NieR 1.22, not NieR Remake.
Welcome home. How'd it go today? Anything exciting happen? 'Cause I just stayed here all day like you told me to. I tried reading books, but I finished all of them. So if you have any fun stories, you should tell me.
Yeah, before I came back into town, I killed some babies.
Well, Popola told me about a legendary flower called a lunar tear. Have you heard of it?
I am like having PTSD. Oh my god.
That's a silly name.
I guess. But people say finding one will make you rich beyond your wildest dreams. If I ever found one, I'd buy you so many cookies your stomach would hurt.
Could a lunar tear make me better?
Sure. With that kind of money, we could buy the best medicine around. The kind that'll cure anything.
That's how that works, right?
Yona? What's wrong?
It's nothing. Good night.
Get out. Get out of my room, big brother!
Okay, I'm off to Popolis. See you later. And please stay out of trouble today, okay?
I'm telling what to do, fucker. I do think it's interesting thinking about the fact that with this game, a lot of people coming into it are gonna be coming in after playing NieR Automata, and kind of with those expectations. So, like, it happened in reverse, but like this game, like the way it was originally developed, originally NieR was this, like some, you know, medieval-esque, like it's a post-apocalypse, but it's supposed to be evocative of a, like, traditional fantasy medieval style Western fantasy setting. And then they made NieR Automata, and it's like really hard sci-fi with robots and over urban environment and shit like that. So where you're very clear, okay, this is like futuristic technology and shit. But it is going to be interesting for people going from NieR Automata to this game. And it's going to be the opposite. They're going to go from the futuristic technology to like more humdrum and less technologically advanced medieval fantasy style setting. I think that'll be interesting to see people's perspectives when it comes to that.